What the hell is this?
Welcome to Devil May Cry 4, where Dante shoots the Pope in the first 5 minutes. What the fuck? Yeah, that didn't go well. Did he just leg lock his uncle? Welcome to Mission 1, where you get to fight Dante as a tutorial boss. Well, no. After shooting the Pope and beating up his brother's son, he leaves without a trace. And now you can finally enjoy the game as Nero. Nero's gameplay overall is simple and fun, but feels lacking compared to Dante's. It doesn't help that DMC5 improved his gameplay with his Devil Breakers. Say hello to the first actual boss of the game, Belial. Belial's fight overall felt slow, and he becomes a punching bag the entire time you are fighting him. He's a good starter boss that lets you practice the combat, but he is not a boss you will remember. After defeating the first boss, the game starts to introduce some puzzles. The puzzles felt very boring, and I would rather fight any enemy. One of the puzzles in the first mission requires you to move statues from point A to point B, which feels very tedious. It didn't help that the church area in this mission is stretched out for 4 whole other parts in the game, so you have to backtrack to some areas and get lost in the process like I did. Where the hell am I? After finishing the puzzle in this area, I could finally move on to the boss. This frog is easily my least favorite boss in the game. He is incredibly slow and takes forever to kill. This boss basically runs away from you for half of the fight, and as if it couldn't get any worse, if he grabs you, you get stuck in a 15-second animation. I hope I never have to fight this boss again. After showing you a puzzle I didn't like, I'll show you my favorite thing in the early missions of the game. Welcome to Mario Party! Spin the dice until you reach the end. The games include fighting regular enemies, running around for 30 seconds, which is the only bad part, and free red orbs. It was honestly a nice change after the previous puzzles, and it was infinitely more fun to gamble. Although I have heard a lot of mixed opinions about the dice game on a certain website, I personally enjoyed it a lot. But when you reach the end, you are forced to do the rest of DMC4's puzzles, which suck. Yeah, no DNA test is needed. Nero was Virgil's son. With his dad's motivation, he gains Devil Trigger. Devil Trigger gives his gameplay the extra spice that it needed. Although it really only gives you attacks of damage boost, it feels really great to use against bosses or enemies that are annoying.
What the hell is this? What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Allow me to introduce you to the forest section of the game. These levels are my least favorite in DMC4, and its only redeeming quality is the boss. A few moments after starting the level, you are forced to fight these enemies while moving around a disappearing platform. This doesn't sound bad on paper, but whenever you fall, 3 enemies will ambush you and they take forever to kill. To add fuel to the fire, most of your attacks will knock you off the platform. A powered up shot from your gun? You're off. A jumping attack? You're off. Trying to dodge the enemy? You're off. Was it a skill issue? Maybe. Was this annoying to do? Absolutely. At this point in the video, I've shown you bosses that I thought were bad. It's about time I show you a boss that I enjoyed. Echidna. Echidna is much faster than the previous 2 bosses and is a lot of fun to fight, but I will probably forget about her in 2 weeks. Because the boss that comes after her fight is Kratos.
the wish of His Holiness.
Kratos is a great example of how to make a good boss. He's fast, but well telegraphed. He can parry your attacks if you are being reckless. He also has many interactions with Nero's demon arm, such as throwing his weapon back at him or catching him off guard. He is easily my favorite boss of this game, and probably a top 5 boss overall in the Devil May Cry series. After having so much fun fighting Kratos, you are forced to go back into DMC4's level design. Welcome to the church section of the game. I really have nothing notable for this area. It wasn't bad or good, just average. The boss is pretty good, however, I will talk more about his fight later in the video. After going to church together, Nero finally forgives Dante for shooting the Pope, only for the Pope to revive himself from the dead to try and steal Nero's power. He also wants to become God. I wish I was joking about this story. Now that we're on the topic of the Pope, his boss fight easily became my least favorite in DMC4. The entire fight, he runs away from you and attacks from range. It wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the fact that he is flying. Nero has only one aerial attack and his gun, so you could barely reach him for most of the fight. Catching him and knocking him down is the best part of the fight. It feels like trying to catch a fly, and I hate it. If I could rank this boss, I would easily put him on the worst part of the tier list. After beating the Pope takes Nero hostage, and Nero asks his uncle to save him. And now you could finally play as Dante. Dante feels almost perfect in DMC4. Although some gameplay aspects of him are slightly different, you can still pull off some insane combos. I fully recommend looking up combo videos done by other content creators because they could get absolutely absurd. Although Dante is a ton of fun to play, the level design of this game is not. When you start playing Dante, you have to backtrack through all of the previous levels. No new bosses, similar puzzles, and no new areas to look at.
What the hell is this?
After 3 hours of backtracking, you are blessed with my favorite cutscene in the game.
It was my assumption that those demons would prove far inferior in the face of your tactics.
You summon and kill. Summon and kill. I fail to see the logic here. Said it. The price to pay for power?
That is what you seek. And that is why I wait in your power.
What the fuck?
You will fumble the opposition of my quest.
The cutscene before this fight made me love this boss. The fact that he uses demons as weapons is such a cool design and adds to his character. Although his boss fight can be seen as annoying, I will never forget the introduction to this boss. After watching pure cinema, Dante decides to kill the Pope. There was one problem though. The Pope became God. Now it's time to fight the Pope again. The boss fight is extremely boring. The entire fight is running between platforms until you get to do damage. I started to fall asleep during this boss because it was taking forever to kill. If I had $1 for every annoying boss in DMC4, I would have $4. And that's a lot of money. After killing the boss, we could finally play again as Nero and kill the Pope from the inside.
Let's clean up this mess.
I wonder what's inside the Pope. Oh, hello, beautiful. the final boss of the game, and they copy and pasted an old boss. I really wish they did something else because this boss is almost the exact same as the first time you fight him. After beating this boss, I felt really disappointed because I was expecting way more. I guess you aren't some casual gamer. That is so cringe. Should you buy Devil May Cry 4? Absolutely, but only if it's on sale. It does have many flaws, but the gameplay, story, and music make up for it. I rate this game a 7 out of 10. Go play it.